Hello, I'm back for my Flosstube update. I've been gone for a while, so this is going to be a recap of October, November and December's work today. And I'm going to try something new as well, in that I'm going to try closed captioning, and because I want to do that I'm going to try and keep the video a little bit shorter than my past updates, so we'll see how we go. I'm also sitting in a different place because it's December the 10th today, clue at what month we're in here, and I thought, oh, it's really it's snowing outside, so I thought I'd sit in front of the window and you could watch the snowfall behind me. But I've got this kind of really bright white light here, and this is with the blinds closed because I have closed the blinds to try and cut it off. But I've set myself all up in this area before I realised and looked what it looked like on the camera, so I am just going to stay sat here, so I'm sorry if this is just a little bit bright. But I've got quite a lot to show you for the time that I've been away. Stitching has been a bit hit and miss. It's I'm sure, like for most of you, this is a busy time of year. And I have got another short clip that I need to insert into this video. So let's get started. So I think what I'll start with is my whips. So, if you watched my last one, I bought some fabric when I was in the States, so I've actually made that now into a project bag since I last saw you. So my first whip is this Bent Creek one, and this is ACORN, and I thought this would be a really quick stitch. And I thought I'd kind of start it and get it finished in a week, but no, this is how far I've got. And there are so many of my own interpretations in here because I'm refusing to say that I just can't follow a pattern anymore and I made it wrong. I'm just going with my own interpretation. And I think I started that one back in October, kind of autumnal time, but I haven't worked on it for a bit now. The count is really small. I think it's a 32 count. I can't remember the name, but it was one of the monthly dies by Embroidery when I was in her fabric club, the material on that one. And this one I did quite a bit of work on. This one stayed out for a while, and I did have it in mind that I might actually finish this one, but now we're in December, I don't really want to be stitching Halloween things anymore. So this is Lizzy Kate, ABC Halloween, and I'd made a start on this one in my last video. I think I'd just done the top line A and B. Fold it so you can see it. A bit of, I'm obviously still, I stopped because the thread snapped. There you go. So I'm down on N, and I think I put this away last weekend. I did a stitch wrong down here, and when I tried to unpick it, it unravelled. So I felt like that was a good time and place to stop. That's another whip. I don't know when I'm next going to work on this one. This might go away for a while because it's no longer Halloween-y time of year. We seem to have moved on to Christmas season, but there's no rush to finish that one. This is one of the ones I took on retreat with me to do a bit of work on. And this is this one. I'm still working on the first page on this, and I had hoped to get that first page finished. I'm close. I'm just doing a bit of filling on it. There's a needle minder on here. Such a big bit of fabric. I've got to actually find the bit that I've stitched on. Here you go. Let's fold it up. There you go. So all of the in this bit here, the background, I've stitched two of the colours, and I'm working on the third, which is the filler. So the kind of gaps that you can see, it's all one colour that just needs to be filled in. So that's quite a nice one, I guess, to do now, because I don't have to look at the pattern to fill that in theory. And then my final, penultimate, I did some more work on Elizabeth. This was where are we now? So was it 2015 or 2016 start, this one? I can't remember. But Elizabeth has been living with me for a while. To find her. Where did I put? Oh, she's right in front of me. It's because she's wrapped up safely. And I'm going to have to bear with me because I'm going to have to unravel her, because I was trying to get to a certain point on her so that I could move on to the bottom of her skirt. And so there you go. So the bits that I worked on were the bodice and the chair. I've still got a bit of filling in to do there, but I think you can see her despite the light. That bodice is fairly straightforward and quite small, but I was one stitch out, and so as I was stitching it, it meant that her bust line was a bit bigger than Nora had intended. And I know some women would be quite happy with the idea of an extra stitch added to their chest. I'm not one of those. And as I was stitching it, I just thought I wasn't happy with it. And I am one of those stitchers who sometimes will leave things if they've made a mistake, but actually on this I wasn't happy with it, so I did take it all down, and to work it out I kind of had to take out the whole of the bodice and start again because I couldn't find where the mistake was, but I got there, so it's now all done. And I had it rolled ready to start the bottom of the skirt to take it down. There's a lot more work to be done in her. And then I've got a new start. So I have got one finish to show you, and I felt like I wanted to stitch something seasonal. So I had a look in my stash and I found, just going to move the pattern, this one, Be Jolly, and it's a Lizzy cake. And I've had this for a few years. It came with the fabric, so the fabric, does it say what it is? It's the linen. No, I can't see that it says what it is, but it came in the pack, but you had to buy the threads yourself, and so I had already stocked this up, I think at the end of last year, but this is where I've got so far. So I'm just working on this border here, and what's quite interesting for me on this one is this row, the blue row that comes next. That's the Algerian eyelet stitch, which is a new stitch for me to try, so I'm quite excited to give that one a go. So that's all of my whips that I've been working on, so not a huge amount, and not a huge amount of progress there either. I did say I had a finish. I'm just going to get it from, oh, I've got two actually. So my first finish, I think I showed you this last time I was here, and I had done most of it. I've got this one. And I think it is called Gather a Harvest, and this again, it's another Lizzy Kate. I can't show you the pattern because I've actually gifted that, so that's already been passed on. And that was a nice simple stitch. I did change 2 of the colours used in it, because it's all done in fancy floss, but I didn't have the 2 that were needed for this one or for this one, so I just switched them out for something else. I have got the names if you want to know, but I am getting more and more around to the idea of, if you don't have what you need, just have a look at what you think fits and what you've got in your stash and use it, rather than go out and spend lots of money. So then my other finish, just getting it ready to show, is this one. So that's the needlework shop, and that is a country cottage needlework design, and I had started that last time that I saw this, and this one I did take to the Milton Keynes retreat with me, and I don't know why, but maybe because it was there was a lot going on, or I was distracted, but in usual style I did end up having to, I was off 1 stitch in the roof line, and then I on this side, but then I'd lined everything up below it with it, and it got to a certain point, it's like, this doesn't seem to be matching, so I had to take quite a bit of it out and restitch it, but what are you going to do? So what else can I talk to you about? I've got a few things piled around me, so thinking about order. Well, I've got a few purchases, so we could have a look at those. Speaking of retreat, I've got a hair somewhere. Sparkly's was there again with her fabric, so this one I'm going to show you is Winter Skies, and it's a linen, and I've bought this one. It's a lovely dark kind of moody piece to it. I have a particular, this is for one of the Nora Corbett Bewitching Pixies that I want to put on this one. I can't remember what she's called off the top of my head, but she's the red one that's facing out with the kind of Angelina Jolie split dress leg. That's what I always think of when I see her, so she's going to go on this one. And I have a feeling this bit of fabric might be big enough to put 2 on, because I do have a few of those in my collection. Did I buy anything else? Yes, I bought, I kitted up another Mira while I was there, because Sarah Marnie, that's her card, I think, hopefully you can see the details on that, was there, and she sells DMC, and she had the new DMCs there as well. So I bought these ones, and these are specifically for, oh, I'm not going to be able to remember now, is it Moon Fairy, which is a pattern I have in my stash, and I was so tempted to start it because Joanne and Tina were starting theirs there, but they didn't have, I didn't have fabric in my stash big enough for her, and there wasn't any sparklies there. Sorry, you can see where my cardigan's been on the hanger for a while. It's really cold here today. Yeah, so she didn't get started, but I'm ready to start. I also bought, sorry, top of my head, one of the DMC collector boxes, and Sarah had the new line there, but I've just picked out all of the shades of purple from her, and I focused on the purple because I did actually have that for my birthday, the DMC with all the new shades in it. So that was retreat, really good fun, really lovely to see some people that I'd met before, but also there was some new faces there to say hello to. Always good fun. If you get a chance to go to retreat, it's just a lovely way to spend some time stitching with like-minded people, getting to look at all of the different things they're doing, all the different patterns, and all the different finishes. There were some stunning Mirabilia finishes there, but also lots of bits of hardanger, really, really lovely stuff. And it's just good fun. And next year, in fact, I'm now going to be going in both April and October, and on the back of that I know that there are lots more retreats being organised in the UK. So there's next year Donna's doing one which is in Scotland, which that one is full at the moment, but it's just great that there are many more options coming up around the UK for doing these retreats. I'm trying to think desperately of the name of the website, but I can't remember. It's a Facebook page, so if anyone's interested in doing retreats, just let me know, and if I remember I'll try and put somewhere across here the Facebook group page so you can have a look at it, because all the details will be on there. Right, just looking at what I've got at my feet now. So I have a few purchases, so I thought I would just go through those. So one of the first ones, I have the Lakeside Needlecraft doing it was a Christmas box, a surprise Christmas box. I have left mine sealed, intact, just to show, and so I won't be opening that until Christmas. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I haven't seen any spoilers yet either, so we were asked not to post anything about it, but yeah, the polite request. So that's Lakeside Needlecraft. Probably should cover the code. There you go. Then what else have I got here? Oh, that's where the pattern was for the finish I had. Oh, it's a pile of purchases. So this is a gift for one of my friends. So this is a Country Cottage Needlework one. And she's just finished a master's course, and she used to do a little bit of cross stitching, and I took some of my cross stitching to work recently and showed it, including the Santa's Village, and she was like, oh, I want to get back into stitching, so I've bought her that, and I have got all the materials coming for it, for her to give as a Christmas gift, because if I could. And she emailed me to say, oh, can you, I've been having a look at what's available out there, but I can't find anything to my taste. Could you give me a few pointers of where you buy your supplies from? And it was like, oh, I certainly knew a few sites that I can refer her to. And I sat there, just did it on my lunch break at work, and kind of cut and pasted in loads of links and some pictures of things. And I had kind of then had to go back to the beginning of the email and say, you know, you might want to decide your budget before you start looking at these sites, because, you know, I wouldn't want to be responsible for the damage that I could do to your purse before Christmas. So I'm hoping she's had a bit of fun searching out there. So a purchase I've made for myself recently is I am going to join Priscilla and Chelsea's Stitch Along when they do Forest Snowfall. And this is due to start on the 28th of December. So it's like a winter stitch along rather than a Christmas one. And I have got the speciality threads ready to go. Now I did look at purchasing this from Down Sunshine Lane because she was doing an offer on, and on there was a suggestion to switch out one of the colours to use blue corn. So I did use that suggestion, but I actually purchased my pattern from Patchwork Rabbit, because although it was a good deal on Down Sunshine Lane when you figured into it the exchange rate, but then with the postage, you know, it's better to buy it from the UK. Plus it means I get to support a UK business as well. This one I'm very excited about. I kept seeing people talking about this, and there's been a few finishes posted recently, and I hadn't realised that this was an out of print chart. But I was in my local shop, Bicester Wools, and I saw this. So this is Tigerlily by Nora Corbett. So I'm very lucky that I've been able to add her to my collection. Isn't she pretty? I just got that last weekend. I can't believe it would have been in the shop all the times that I've looked before and I've just not seen it. I Want a Giveaway by Sherry Burkett, and I had a pass the stash of this hands-on design, Seize the Day, with a little note from Cherie saying that she can hope I can pass the stash when I'm done. Absolutely, yeah, this will go out to other people. I might have shown this in my last video, I really can't remember, but it was in my pile, so to speak. And then in October there was the knitting and stitching show at Alexandra Palace that I went up to. I haven't been to it for at least a year. It might have been even 2 years since I was last there. And the time before last one I'd been, I was a little bit disappointed in the range of stuff that was available. But this time I felt that there was actually a bit more stitchy stuff there. That one of the people that I always see when I go is this lady, Trudy Ann Designs, because she has a lot of the American designs, so she has lots of Prairie Schooler and Blackbird designs all there. And actually I'm just going to do this because she's got some dates in the UK. And that's for next year. So February she's at a Manchester event City. March the 1st to the 4th she's at Olympia in London, another one I haven't been to for a while. And then March 15th to 18th NEC Birmingham. So in the UK, people looking, if you want to see some of these in person, and she has loads, she's a stitcher, so she has lots of model stitches as well. And one of the ones that she had a model stitch of was this Jardin Privé, which I don't think, this is one of the ones where the picture just doesn't do it justice, because that just doesn't look like much, but it was beautiful stitched in person, to the point where I asked her about it, and I asked what's forgetting the name for this, floss she had stitched it in, because it recommends using a brown DMC 838, but she'd used a variegated floss and she'd chosen Cauldron, and it did look beautiful, so that's in my to-do list. I also, as it was October around Halloween time, I was drawn to the Halloween ones, so I picked up this one. And that's the Lizzy Kate. That's a cute little finish as well, that little pillow. I haven't seen this one before, and this, she did say this was a new release. In fact, it's got 2017 on. And this is a Little House Needleworks called Sampler Stitches. I'm a sucker for anything stitchy or with houses, so two together, it's mine. Obviously recently I've been here in Salem, so this one appealed to me. So this is, I can't read it backwards, it's a number, Exodus 2016, Little House chart number 88. It's got Salem written on it. I found Prairie Schooler and one of the old ones, and I like that one at the top particularly. I quite like that middle one as well. I'm not sure if I would do the turkey. I love this one. I've had my eye on this one for a while. This is Elizabeth's Needlework design. All your different types of bee or bees. So that was all my purchases from, oh not quite, there are a couple of other things I found while I was there. The first one, where are they all? I found a stall that was selling little wooden kind of shapes. So I bought some round ones. Oh, they've fallen on the floor, that's why I can't find them. Sorry, top of my head again. It was from this place. But I also found one and these ones, and I thought they might be quite useful to kind of have for finishing some smalls in the future, so I just picked them up while I saw them, just have a little bit of a play with, really. The other place I came across was West End Embroidery. Now they don't have a website, but he has given me his email address because I did have a chat with them, because they actually have all of these different speciality threads, and they had a lot of them there with them, but I hadn't, because I wasn't expecting, I don't know, I just didn't think about it, but they're based in Reading, and I kind of said, oh, do you have a shop, because Reading's not that far away from me, I could go there for a visit. And he's like, well, no, but if you email us we could set up a visit. So if anyone fancies a visit to Reading to look at some speciality threads, just let me know, because I'm really quite tempted. But the reason I was looking for speciality threads was because for my birthday I was bought this, and this is Evening in the Park, and one of Martina Rosenberg's designs, one of her chatelaines. And it feels very poignant to have this now, because I've been admiring this for a long time, and I've been watching Teresa Little Stitches stitch hers, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I'm sure that many of you are aware that sadly Martina passed away very recently and very suddenly. So may she rest in peace, but how beautiful that she has all of these legacies that she's left behind, that we can carry on enjoying for years to come. So I'm very pleased that I have that now to add to my stash. I don't know when I'm going to stitch it, because it is quite a bit of an outlay to start it, but I did start looking at, because some of the threads that you used in here are no longer available. I have managed to track down one of them, Silk in Colours, but there are a couple more that I need to get hold of, so I'm going to be contacting West End Embroidery. In fact, I'm going to leave that aside to do that next, after this video, to see if they've got any old stock in. Yeah, so a bit of sad news, but so lovely that we have all of these designs out there. I was very excited as well to be able to find this design. This is Salem Sisters, and this is part 1. So I think this is also out of print. So I had to go searching for this one, and I'm just going to open it so I can tell you where I found it. I don't know if they've got any more, but I purchased it from America, and she did include its Cosmo thread in it, which I might try in this pattern just to see how it works. Oh, I got it from the Cottage Needle. Just trying to fold away my address. There. So, and that was on Etsy. Oh. This was an eBay purchase. I had some wild idea that I might get that stitched before Christmas, but not going to happen. So another eBay. And that's a Nikki's creation. This one I bought at Retreat. This is Minerva. And then this one I found in Burford Needlecrafts or Needleworks. I'm not entirely sure. It's in Burford, which is in the Cotswolds. I was over that way because I was doing a cupcake decorating class with some friends in the morning, and it was just outside of Burford. And I thought, oh, well, I'm over that way, because it's about 40 minutes from me. I thought I'm going to stop and have a look in the Needlecrafts. It's been taken over and it has moved premises, because it used to be a much bigger shop with much bigger selection. But it's still got some nice stuff in there. And I found Christmas Wishes. obviously a Nora Corbett one. I've not seen this one before, I don't believe, and I don't think I've seen anyone stitch it, so do correct me if you know anyone who's done this, or if you've done it. But I just thought it was beautiful. Don't know when I'm... No plans at the moment to stitch it. So, other things... I've been doing a few other things. So one weekend, instead of stitching, I had all of my fabric stored in little plastic bags, and I know that's not the ideal way to store your fabrics, and it'd been bothering me for a while, but I didn't know how to store it, and I had to think about labelling it. So I bought some little tags off of Etsy. I think they're in like £2. I did want to do it from myself because I have got one of the old-fashioned Sizzix machines, but I'm doing this because I've lost the handle from it, and I kept thinking it would turn up and it never did. So in the end I just bought some. So all of my fabric now has been labelled. So this is a Crafty Kitten January 2015 limited edition. It's an 18 by 27 28 cashao linen. So all of them have been tagged and attached, and now I've been able to roll them all up. So I piled them all up and then rolled them all up. And the other thing about that exercise is it reminded me what beautiful fabric I've had, but also that I really don't need to buy any more fabric. Yes. Speaking of fabric, I have been doing a bit more quilting. So I'm still working on my parents' quilts. I am on the final border, so I am currently making lots of these little barn doors. So this will be a king size quilt, and this is the final border. So I have to make, I think it's 52 or 54 of these, and I'm at 59. So I still have many piles like this ready to stitch up into something like this. So hopefully that will be done soon. It feels like I've been doing this quilt forever. And then I still have to actually quilt it and bind it, but you know, step by step, it's getting closer. And then over Halloween I was playing with some Halloween fabric, and I made I put together, I had a charm pack, so I made a table runner. It's not, I haven't pulled it out to be shown. It's got some more work to be done it, but I had some material left over because then I cut a whole load more fabric that I had in my stash. So I showed you this bag. I had this material left over, I had some of the orange left over, and I'd bought some of that in green as well. And I wanted to just use some fabric that I had left lying around. So I had a bit of a play with the leftovers, and I made that 9-patch, is it 9-patch or a 4-patch? Anyway, bit of crazy cutting. There is an error in it, but I'm not going to point it out. If you're an experienced quilter, you will see it, in that one of them doesn't quite match, and I sewed it together and I was like, oh, that doesn't match, took it apart, sewed it together, didn't match, took it apart, sewed it together, and just thought, I don't care anymore, it's staying. And I quite like it. So it's just a little table mat, but I just need to bind it. But I'm waiting to bind it because I'll just bind it with some leftover fabric from the table runner. So I believe that is everything to do, except if you've been watching my videos for a while, and in particular if you watched the last one, I did have a giveaway, so I'm really late coming back to this one for people. But in an effort to keep, dropped a whole load of stuff on the floor, but never mind, an effort to keep kind of the video down and controllable, I have gone ahead and done a draw for my mystery giveaway that's Nora Corbett shaped and is a pixie. I'm not telling you which one. I'd asked you to tell me if you're a good witch or if you're a bad witch. There are many more bad witches, no, sorry, got that the wrong way around. There are many more good witches than there are bad witches, which I found quite amusing because I was thinking I would be a bad witch. And I'm just opening up to show you who my role model would have been for this. So if you're in the UK, you'll recognise this. I don't know if it ever made it out to the UK, but there was a programme, Rod Hull and Emu, in which they had a witch, and this would be who my role model is. And her name is Grotbags. So when I was thinking about my bad witch, this would have been my bad witch role model. She was played by an actress called Carol Lee Scott, who unfortunately passed away this year. But she was part of my childhood. And it was one of those comedy things where every kind of episode she was doing something bad, and she was always foiled by the good people. So yeah, the good people outweighed the bad people. So I had 27 entries for this one, and my random number generated number 20, which was Moonboeve. I've had a look. You don't have a YouTube channel or do Flosstube. So if you can get in contact with me, I will see if I can private message you as well. And so this chart will make its way to you when you get in contact. I did say as well that I might do something little for the people who were my bad witches. I haven't decided what the prize is yet, but I do have a winner. Only 7 of you bad witches. There were a few of you who were a bit in middle of the road. I particularly liked Deb Wilson's idea, because she said the kind of witch she'd like to be is the one who could stop time. And it immediately made me think of Charmed, where they freeze everybody and everything around them, because then you could have that as stitchy time. And I thought, wouldn't that be brilliant? You could just, you know, stop everything around you, stitch your heart's content, and then when you're ready you would kind of press play again and restart the world. I really like that idea. But there are 7 bad witches, or people who not necessarily bad, but admitted to having a bit of a naughty side about them. And our winner from that was Anna Goyea. Sorry if I've butchered your name, but if you see this and want to get in contact with me, we shall sort something out. So that's it. That's my video for this time. I've still managed to talk for just over 37 minutes, and I've got my little bit that I need to put in about the gift I did for the Milton Keynes retreat. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for those of you that do. And thank you as always for your comments. I know that I haven't got round to replying to some of the recent ones, but I will do. I'm just going to look. I don't know if it's still snowing. It's still snowing. Our neighbours have built a snowman, so that's very cute. I'm thinking I probably won't go out today. I don't have any need to go out there, so I shall sit in, and I'm going to write some Christmas cards, and I'm going to do some quilting, and I'm going to see if I can order some threads for that chatelaine. So thank you. I'll take this opportunity to wish you all a Merry Christmas, and I shall see you sometime in the new year. Bye!